Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage Hand Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by Art Talsorian Games. Art Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. Good evening. What is a community? Is it just a group of people living in close proximity? Or is it a banding of like-minded individuals? For the damned, the kindred, community is much closer to the former than the latter. Vampires are solitary creatures, antisocial parasites who prey on the living. Yet they congregate, they share resources, and seem to form, at a glance, a community. Such is the case in Montreal, a city where, but a few years ago, a sizable and powerful community of vampire was utterly destroyed in what we now call the Night of Ashes. It did not take long for outsiders to waltz in and pick at the scraps left by those who are now gone. These newcomers, as you will find tonight, are far from a community. Not yet, and perhaps never. Already their tenuous peace is threatened by an outside force. A mortal, some lowly kind, has found footage that proves the existence of vampires. If this were to leak out to the general public, this new community would fall to ruin before it had even a chance to form. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and I will be your storyteller for this vampire story. This is called Montreal by Night, and it takes place in the world of darkness, but a few years before the event of the upcoming game Vampire the Masquerade Chapters. We're about to meet our coterie of vampires, but before we do, let's just dive into the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Good evening, and we're back. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I promised before the intro, let's introduce our cast and then dive into our story about community. I'll start with the first person to right above me on the overlay, actually. Trooper. Hi, how are you? Who are you? And who are you playing?
Hello, I am Trooper SJP, and I am doing well. It is a Monday night, and it is the first night of Montreal by Night, which means it's the first nights, which I think was a whole different vampire thing. And I'm really excited to be here. I have not played Vampire in a while, and so I'm really excited to be back into the shoes of the undead. And I am playing tonight St. Clair Lucky Dixon, who I believe, among people who do not know, goes by Lucky Desmond, because you have to change your last name every couple of decades, or else it's a little bit awkward. You know how it is. And Lucky is Lucky is a vampire. Surprise, spoiler! Don't tell anyone. That's a Masquerade breach. And plays hockey. That's it.
Yeah, that is enough for us to know right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, up next we have Deirdre.
Oh, hey y'all. How are you? You know me, I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagoth has me for you. You see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. She, her, and I get to play Florica Flory Winters. You change your last name? That's a thing you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess. I don't know. You do vampire things differently where I'm from. And we'll find out all about Flory tonight. Also, her wonderful ride that she gets to have.
Indeed. And I mean, Lucky shared one hobby that he has. What is yours?
Hobby? Or well, I can tell. Can I tell you what my day job is? Because that sounds like a hobby to me. That's my hobby. It's repatriating art that was, taken from those who it didn't, who were oppressed by those, and taking it from those it doesn't belong to and giving it back to those who do. Because
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. It's good to be in these very old shoes. It's comfortable, and someone who likes comfort is Arthur Porter. Both of us use he/him pronouns, and Arthur is a recent transplant from Palm Beach. up to Montreal. And he enjoys lots of the finer things. Good music, nice scenery, plush carpets. But he does have a few old bagging habits, but we won't get into those right
Now, before, because there's quite a bit of chat going on about this. So before we continue, yes, this takes place in Montreal. This takes place after the old Montreal by Night book.
Montreal, right?
Indeed. Actually, this takes place before Vampire the Masquerade chapters, as I said earlier. This is a game that is coming out soon. It's up for pre-orders. This is not like a sponsored stream in any way. It's just as one of the main narrative designer for that game, I wrote most of it. And so I wanted to, have a game in the world that I've been working on for the past 2 years. And so here we are. So the NPCs, the places that you might see them again in future games. But this story is entirely new and is about our trio of vampires. In fact, it's technically not about you tonight. So after the sun set on our late summer night, finally most of the kindred are thankful for the longer days that are ahead, the longer nights, apologies, that are ahead. But all three of you got a message when you rose from torpor tonight, from your day sleep. You were invited to an emergency meeting at the Jungle, this nightclub / tropical themed bar in downtown Montreal, familiar to some of you as you know some of the establishments around the Jungle. The reason why you've been invited is because something dire was just found out. A masquerade breach, a proper masquerade breach. Footage, undeniable footage of a vampire has been caught and is now being distributed. Some of you already know certain things about this footage before. We'll leave it up to you to surprise our viewers with. But like we asked during session 0, when would you arrive at this meeting? And you all said that you would get there early.
Not Flory.
That's not what I had then.
Flory makes if I remember correctly, a proper
Flory makes
entrance.
Flory makes an entrance later.
Okay,
Everyone
so
else
you're
gets
not
there
all
early.
going. Okay,
But
Sorry.
as for Arthur and Lucky, we're going together.
go together. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. And so Arthur, Lucky, you've traveled from your respective havens down to downtown Montreal. The lights of the red light district are almost blinding against the backdrop of the now darkening night sky. There's quite a few people outside. We're in late August, just like today. Tourist season is practically done, but it's still warm enough that pretty much every Montrealer will stay out for as long as they can to enjoy these last few precious days or evenings of summer warmth. As you approach the Jungle, you can hear the almost Club Med-like music coming out from the place. It's tacky. In the front, there's this old neon sign. It just says the Jungle. It's got these two neon palm trees on each side that just flicker in and out. At the entrance, there is a there is no lineup, but there is a bouncer with like the red velvet rope blocking the door. He seems to be rather bored and not that attentive to whoever's walking by or even whoever wants to come in. As you approach him, this heavy-set man, probably, I think maybe early 40s, looks more soft than muscle, but still is impressive enough that, you know, he would almost need to walk sideways to cross through a door. He doesn't even register that you're there waiting to go in before you've stood there for a couple of seconds, before he finally snaps out of whatever reverie he was in and looks at the two of you. You guys want in?
Yes, please, my good man.
And I am standing right behind Arthur, just right a little bit behind him by his side.
Says, you're in luck, guys. There's no cover tonight. As he unhooks the red velvet rope.
Thank you kindly.
Making your way inside this, the main floor of the jungle is just as tacky as the sign outside. Inflatable palm trees where they couldn't get, you know, artificial trees. You see that there are few, especially the area where the DJ is located. Seems like a snapshot taken from a hotel in like Cuba or something. Most of the staff is dressed in Hawaiian print shirts and other, you know, let's say summer attire. For the most part, most of the women working there are wearing like the top of a bikini with like either a sundress over or just like a long skirt, like they were coming out of a pool. Most of the men working there, save for the DJ, for the most part have their shirts unbuttoned. There's remarkably quite a bit of people inside. It is not packed to the brim. You don't need to elbow your way through the crowd. But there is far more than the perhaps dozen people you thought would be here. To your left, as you enter, there's the bathrooms, but right after, a closed door with a sign on it that says VIP. Past this door, into the main area, if you keep going to your left, you can hear, and if you've been there before, you know what's there, but you hear the sound of multiple slot machines. The jungle is not a proper casino, but slot machines don't count, and they have rows upon rows of them. What do you do as you come into the place? You don't recognize any of the kindred on the main floor.
Are the kindred on the main floor, or are they all going back to the VIP room?
Well, you figure what you need to discuss tonight is probably very sensitive. Chances are you'd be hidden in a room somewhere. The upstairs VIP room is probably a good guess, but there's no one here to even, guide you anywhere. I will ask the two of you a question. Have you turned on your blush of life tonight?
Yes.
Could I get a rouse check for the both of you?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Just to see if you're a little peckish by the time you get to the jungle.
That's
Indeed.
fair. That's fair.
I failed. I'll get a little bit of hunger.
Yeah, Arthur, you're fine. Lucky as you come in, you look at everyone here, and the smell of all these like fruity alcoholic beverages, even though you're dead and I don't know if you enjoy. You used to enjoy back in your living days things like daiquiris and the like, but
We didn't have that.
oh yeah, right, I forgot.
I'm a bit older than
You're a
that.
bit older than that. Yeah, my bad. I mean, it just.
I mean, they technically existed, just not on the mainland.
Also, not in.
Not where he
rural.
lived. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've probably had your occasional Christmas orange.
Yes. Yes.
And this reminds you of those good old days where you could just bite into an orange and just drink the crimson hot liquid that came out of it, just like the one that would come out of the people here tonight. Now, you don't even remember, do oranges bleed? Or is it just you being hungry?
Yeah. Well, they are called blood oranges.
Mm-hmm. As you take stock of the room, the VIP door next to you opens just a little, and a woman pokes half of her face out. Diana St. Laurent. Clearly also having the blush of life, her skin is tanned, just like the type of person that would have spent, a nice vacation in a tropical place far away from Montreal. She's got this bright red lipstick on. Subtle but very, very well applied mascara and makeup. She looks more human, maybe perhaps, than even some of the kind here. She's got her long, curly hair just framing her body, and she's wearing this sort of like one-piece suit, like a jumper almost, that's just cut in places to leave very little to the imagination. And she just goes, "Psst. Hey, you two. Yeah, we're upstairs."
Makes sense.
Artie, I will see you in a second.
Enjoy the refreshments, Lucky. Just be quick. And I push past Diane, head up.
Diana will just look at Lucky, and just whisper, "Anyone but the DJ."
And Lucky just gives a slightly confused look. And maybe not confused, but more of like and heads back to the slot machines.
All right. So,
And one pull. One
Just-
pull in the slots. That's it.
okay. Can you just roll a d10?
Sure. A 9.
It's actually a winning pull.
Well, I am called Lucky for a reason. And I take my little winnings.
It's $250. In like these
20
chips that you'll need to trade, but
Yeah.
The older woman next to you wager probably in her 70s. She just looks at you with daggers in her eyes.
What does she look like?
Older, maybe a bit on the frailer side. But just seeing in her eyes, the desperation. Like she's someone that is probably on the daily, I don't know, maybe very depressed, sad, desperate, maybe. She might be having thoughts about taking some of your chips.
As I gather, can you tell me what race is she?
Simon, thinking back at all the people he saw playing on the slots machine. The majority was, so I'll say white.
All right. In that case, as I gather up my slots, my chips, I give her I put in the little till of her slot machine, like $25 out of my 250. I just drop it in there. Kiss my fingers, put it on her slot machine for luck, and then I walk out.
You can hear her mutter, like, that thing didn't give me anything for over 3 hours and he just shows up? Fucking rigged. But she pockets your 25 bucks.
Mm-hmm. And I cash in everything but one chip, which I keep so I can flip it.
Oh, sure. Choose the denomination that you want to keep, and like that's the one you have. From like 5 to 100.
A 5.
Sure, a 5. During this time, Arthur, you are being brought upstairs by Diana. She turns from time to time to just like look over her shoulder at you and says, "Not everyone's here yet."
I figured I decided to come over.
Well, it's a good thing you came. I was starting to think that no one cared. But Alex called me tonight and said he had something for you specifically. So he's not here yet. Yeah, Caleb's already there. Valois already there.
Of course he is.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, and that brute Mackenzie is also here. I don't know why the fuck he decided to show up, but
oh, that's intriguing.
he already dragged dirt all over the VIP room. I am just livid. Anyway, and as she says that, she pushes the other door that's upstairs, and you enter the room upstairs, where you notice the music has almost completely disappeared. You can hear the faint whoop of a bass, but nothing more. It's almost like this entire room is, or floor, I should say, is practically soundproof. There is another stage here at the moment, but there's no one playing on it. There's no DJ, there's no workers. It feels very much like a bad party in one corner, just skulking at a table and tapping his clawed fingers on the steel, like the steel cover of that round table is Yuma Mackenzie. And wearing his traditional, red and black flannel over like a white tank top. I should say off-white by this point. Just tufts of hair just pokes out from everywhere that's not covered in cloth. He has cast away his usual jean jacket on like a nearby chair. His greasy, almost matted hair cover most of his face, and Yeah, he's tapping with his claws on the one hand, and the other he's just playing with his nails, just biting them, looking at the entrance, and you and Diana coming. The moment she sets foot in the room, Caleb just walks up to her and says, "Oh, Mr. Porter."
Porter. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for being here. Diana, I have to go. I cannot stay any longer. You have everything you need. Simard is going to show up later. I am certain of it. I really, and he looks at his watch as he says, I really cannot stay. You've got this. And he just puts a hand on her shoulder to reassure her, and excuses himself as he leaves.
Take care, Caleb.
Caleb, of course, almost just gliding down the stairs, his black trench coat floating behind him in almost an involuntary dramatic fashion. Something that Valois probably tries very hard to emulate. Caleb, of course, was and needs to use every tool in his arsenal to not scare the kind downstairs. His normal, translucent, white skin that shows all of his veins is covered right now. And you believe, as he moves past you, not by any kindred powers, but just by good old traditional makeup.
You take care, Caleb. I'll make certain that I take notes.
Thank you. Keep me abreast if anything comes up.
Certainly. Yeah, have a good night.
And he hurries out. Lucky, maybe you have like a second to catch a glimpse of him leaving.
Mm-hmm. And I just watch him as I imagine maybe we pass each other as I'm going up.
Yeah, and he's
flipping a chip as he's coming down. And I nod to him.
He nods back. Have you ever interacted with Caleb before?
The Camarilla doesn't really like me very much.
That's true. He'll just courteously nod and leave it at that.
I will nod as I make my way up into the VIP room, where I'll see, I imagine I'll see Mackenzie, and the Anarchs also don't really like me very much. So I just sort of nod and make my way over to where Artie is. And I suppose I should describe what I look like.
I was going to do that when Flory also came in, but now's as good as time as any.
Could I have sort of picked up a glass, some sort of a glass with alcohol in it, perhaps?
Oh yeah, it's like it's a plastic pineapple with a straw and the little umbrella.
I'm just holding it. You know what I mean? Like I probably grabbed it when I was coming back, like when I was with the slot where the slots were, and I grabbed it and made my way over. So I'm just carrying it as I'm walking to the bar and come up to the VIP room, still holding this pineapple, and make my way to be next to Artie. Just make sure he's all right.
Yeah, currently the room is almost evenly divided. On one side, Valois, dressed in his sort of very ostentatious cape and almost like old Napoleon era coat, covered in these faded sigils. And then on the other side, of course, Yuma, Mackenzie, and in the middle, just standing and chatting, or about to chat, Arthur and Diana. What do you look like, Lucky?
Lucky looks like a young man, maybe 25 mid to late 20s, I'd say, is probably what he looks like. Doesn't mean it's true, of course, as we all know. He looks about 26. So that Afro Canadian, well built. Looks sort of not like a bodybuilder, but more like an athlete.
Mhm.
He's wearing a hockey jersey style hoodie and jeans, boots. He walks in. He's got his hair's got a nice fade on it, nice kind of a flat top fade. He looks casual. He doesn't. If some people on some sides look like they are Napoleonic nobles or high-powered businesswomen, or on the other side they might look like anarchist punks. He just looks like, he doesn't look like a jock necessarily, but his jeans are in repair, like they're not ripped. They're fresh, they're pressed. His boots are polished, but not ostentatiously so, in the sense that they will like shine in the middle of the night, but they clearly are taken care of. All of his clothing, it may not be new, but it is in good repair, and it is presentable. So he looks, I'd say, like a young man who is, I mean, I suppose he could be dangerous, but he also seems like somebody that your grandmother might be okay, maybe not your grandmother, but some people's grandmothers might be okay having him walk her across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Although he might have a slight attitude, just like a little bit of an attitude. Not a bad attitude, but more like a don't mess with me, but not too antagonistic. It's like kind of like a bit of a mix of a little standoffish, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is what everyone sees as you come in. But those that were already in the room before, they've seen Arthur. And what does Arthur look like? How are you dressed for this evening?
Arthur refers to this outfit as his dancing outfit. It is not his usual like power suit and slacks. This is casual. This is a low rent cotton breathable Hawaiian shirt, Panama hat. Not the expensive khaki slacks. These are the like lower end cotton ones. And simple brown leather shoes. Again, if somebody needs to dance, he can dance without ruining something important.
You almost look like what one would expect of a patron of this place.
Hey, blending in is just a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, Diana took you aside when Caleb left, and as Lucky arrives, you arrive basically mid-sentence. She's like, "I am so glad you're here, Arthur. None of these bores are entertaining in the least."
Well, Valwall likes to pretend he's interesting, and Yuma most definitely doesn't want to be here. You can tell that by the finger picking. But he feels like he has to be.
Yeah, well, what's the point of being early if you can't just have a little conversation? Right?
Diana, I have a feeling it's going to be a long night. Let's try and keep the fangs in.
I'm not the first one who's gonna go all agaga on people tonight. She just looks over your shoulder at Yuma in a corner. But look, let's change subject, shall we? What's going on with you? What's going on in Italy?
Italy is good and quiet, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Nothing exciting, really? Tell me anything. Just please.
The most exciting thing when it comes to Little Italy is the kind, and you don't have time for that.
No, I do not.
No, if you want more interesting things, that's stuff back in South Florida. And that's a very colorful conversation that I don't know if you want to actually have.
I've heard things about Florida. I'm not quite sure it's the place for me.
Well, everyone still tries to emulate Miami as he looks around the place.
Uh-huh. And how about Montreal? Is Montreal more your taste than South Florida?
South Florida's a bit of a rat race. This is not quite my level of relaxing, but it'll do.
Lucky. I didn't see you there. Please tell me you've got something to tell me while we wait for everyone else. Please, anything.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't usually do much that brings news.
Oh. I should have known. I should have asked everyone to just be here at the same time. You know what? I'm gonna go check on my staff downstairs.
And Lucky ponders for a moment and thinks, I think the Canadian will do well this season. They've got their goalie's good.
Oh, wasn't as good as Roy used to be, but whatever. I didn't really quite follow hockey. I sunk my fangs in soccer players lately.
Huh. Well, they haven't gotten the Stanley Cup in a while, but I imagine maybe they might.
As for your football tastes, I can understand wanting something that rich.
Well, they're not going anywhere. So, you can keep one around for lonely winter nights.
By the way, what year are we in?
2014.
2014. August. Just noting it.
Yeah, if you try to actually talk to me about hockey,
oh yeah,
with
right
actual
now.
names,
Sure.
like, screw it. I know like a handful of them.
No, not yet. So sad. We still the Canadian, the Montreal Canadiens. Not yet. This last season, they didn't do super well. Apparently,
yeah. I'm just saying. And she turns to Arthur. You're the one that knows a bookie, right?
I know a lot of bookies, Diane. You're gonna have to narrow that down.
Well, just make sure that Lucky never tries to bet on the Canadians winning anything.
There's always a long shot.
We won the division championships last year.
one of the things that you need to learn about Montrealans, Lucky. They believe in curses.
Huh, tell me about it. All right, I'll be downstairs. Just don't wreck the place, please, gentlemen.
Oh, no, we'll be on our best behavior.
Mm.
And she turns around and heads down. Oh, yep.
Ma'am,
Yeah?
is there anything that you wanted to share with us?
Oh.
News.
How silly of me. Such a bad host. Well, as far as news that I know of, that doesn't pertain to tonight, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, I have this juicy piece. So, they're organizing this big ballet this winter
Who?
for Christmas. The company at the Royal Canadian Ballet Company, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's just I got it on good authority that the girl they're casting as their I forget the
Prima
name.
ballerina.
The prima ballerina. Yes, thank you. She doesn't know it yet, but she's one of us.
That means she's not one of us yet.
She looks at her phone, says, give her a couple of hours. That's a bit of news that I know.
Well,
I don't think she's going to necessarily be happy.
No, but you see, someone I know wanted their protege to be the prima ballerina. And that's not going to happen now. Well, I mean, it might happen. Who knows?
Unhappy embraces make for a bad time, Diane. I don't know.
I mean, the other role that she had prior to being cast for this the Nutcracker show was a ballet on ancient Egypt. Well, not so ancient. Anyway, I think you're familiar with the term Cleopatra.
yeah.
Is this going to be a turn and dump? Or is this fledgling going to end up?
I don't care. She lives in Toronto.
That's going to cause trouble, and when the trouble happens in one city, it always finds its way to others.
Is she going to be embraced here?
Oh, good lord, no. This is being done at whatever hovel she lives in Toronto.
In Toronto.
But look, you wanted news. I delivered. Now I'm gonna go check on my people. And I'll be back. Might also make a couple of phone calls because I'm really wondering where everyone is.
There are not that many of us. So.
I've got someone coming in later.
Good. The more the merrier. And she leaves.
Artie,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? we don't have any kind of prints here or anything like that.
It's good to keep it that way.
Yeah, but do you think you can just make new children? You don't have to ask anybody here, right?
One can, but it is important to understand the ramifications of the embrace.
I don't want to make any children, but I was just wondering, is this going to be a place where kindred from outside come in and embrace people and then leave? Will this be like like when you have casinos out in the county that don't fall under jurisdiction? You know what I mean? We get tourists coming in to do things they can't do at home.
I think poaching is going to be something that is going to quickly find its way on the don't you fucking dare list.
The door swings open, and in comes a disheveled, blonde vampire, a man some of you know as Antonio Andrade. He's just kind of like Arthur, wearing his dance outfit. A white shirt, very nondescript, black, probably suit pants actually, and some nice brown leather shoes. I thought there would be more people than here, he says as he opens the door.
There's going to be more, Antonio. Come on.
Yeah. He steps in. I thought more people would take this seriously.
The meeting's not yet officially for another 5 minutes.
Still, I would think that the earliest we deal with this, the sooner it's swept under the rug, you know?
Some people like dramatic entrances. Some folks just like to sleep in a bit.
And that's where, when you hear Valois finally pipe up from, like, his side of the room. Well, then maybe some people need to learn when to be all flashy and when to actually take things seriously. Are you three just going to stand there, or do you want to come sit here with me?
You could come stand with us.
If I must. And he gets up, takes his cane, and you know, he uses the cane not as a flashy implement necessarily. The man actually seems to have some sort of limp. Either it is fake or real, you have yet to know. But it seems to pain him a little to have to walk the, 15 paces to get to your little huddled group. Yuma hasn't moved. Yep.
I just have to. Stretching's good for the circulation, Valois. Come on in.
We don't have circulation, Porter.
We can.
I see you're not familiar with Southern small talk.
And he, by the way, he is pale. Valois is beyond using the blush of life. He's got other things to do, you know?
Yeah. And Lucky just looks over at Yuma to see what Yuma's going to do, as now everybody who's anybody's hanging out in the center of the room.
Yeah, Yuma has stopped biting his nails, and he's now looking at your group, probably looking at you specifically. And he just harumphs out loud. Ugh. Ugh. And he gets up, moves the table away. And he walks up, to just be in that little circle with the four of you. Hands in his pockets. You could mistake him for an extra on King of the Hill. He just walks up and, yep, gentlemen.
Nice of you to join us, Mr. Mackenzie.
Yeah, well, now that the talking head is gone.
Diana has her uses.
I don't know how your hearing is, but mine's fairly, she's got too shrill of a voice for my ears.
Maybe you should go see a doctor.
Maybe you should know when to joke and when to shut up.
I'm not joking. Sounds like you're being rude.
We don't do doctors. We're dead, remember?
Oh,
My
I've
point
had plenty
is-
of clients.
My point is, if you find her voice shrill, that might be a you problem rather than a her problem.
Yeah, sure. It's a me problem. Right? I don't want to be
Sure.
here any more than any one of you. I'm fairly certain none of you had envisioned spending your entire night with Diana and Alex. I really, really, really want to help everyone, Boy Scout Samard.
I see that your being here is causing you a degree of discomfort, Mr. Mackenzie. If that's the case, you could say your piece, I'll take notes, and you can leave.
Nah. I got a stake in this. Maybe even literally. So, I'm staying here. Even if it hurts, physically hurts me, he looks at Lucky. To be in the same room as that harpy. Oh, wait, no. She doesn't deserve that name yet. Be in the same
Wait.
room as her.
We're not going to have no hockey in the city if I have anything to say about it.
That's the problem.
That's...
How old are you, Yuma?
What's it to you? What do you
I'm
want to
just
know?
asking. How old are you?
I'm old.
How old?
$1800s.
Hmm.
Leave it at that.
So you're old enough to have born during a time when they had manners and respect for people. So what happened?
Oh, the people that had manners for people were too busy butchering my people. So you know what? I'll have my manners when I'm with my own. How about that? But I agree with him, and he points to Arthur. I don't want no harpies in here.
Agreed. I also don't want anybody who wants to go and just shoot things up because they get angry all the time.
We're gonna have
It
a
isn't-
problem.
I don't know, are we?
Maybe.
Hmm.
We'll see.
So, Mr. Mackenzie. What do
Mr.
you
Mackenzie
know,
was my dad.
Yuma? What do you know?
I know that we're in trouble. None of you... some of you don't remember what it was like back then. I don't want a repeat of Strathcona and all the shit that went down. I don't want a repeat of the Night of Ashes. And I don't know who the fuck slipped up, but I will have a problem with them. And you know what? Might be a good thing that there's no Camarilla right now, because I like my way of solving problems. If the Camis had their way, and he like little side glances at Valois, whoever fucking leaked everything to Kine would probably be, I don't know, made a member of the Primogen or some shit like that.
Reason getting nasty, you know. But I think this definitely is a kind problem.
Well, I hope it is. Kine are very, very easy to break.
Well, the problem is, doesn't seem to be a kind problem, but a technology problem. That's what it's about. So,
You saying we shouldn't touch the phones?
no, I'm saying this is on video, it's digitized, and it's up in the cloud.
You
This is
say
not,
words like you think I know what they mean.
The problem is we've been laying off technology, you know? Valois, as he gives Valois a sharp look.
Oh yeah, the guy, Valois, has nothing on his person that dates from like 1920s and after.
Yeah.
We need to become savvy.
Technology, Valois adds. Technology is the tool of Kine.
Yeah, and it needs to be the tool of kindred now. We have let ourselves fall behind. And the last time that happened, there was torches and pitchforks. So let's not have a repeat of the bad old days.
Well, technology brought us a night of C4 and explosions.
Because we're not on top of it. Control and understanding are key. They go hand in hand.
I'm just pointing out that things that are digital can be copied infinitely, and they're hard to just stamp out. So that video is going to be a problem that just killing one kind will not solve.
Yuma sucks on his teeth, and that's where we're gonna cut to maybe an undetermined amount of time later, right? As this discussion is happening upstairs, a new figure enters the jungle. Flory.
So, Flory isn't using the blush of life, and she's intentionally gone full dark black eyeshadow, dark black lipstick. Her nails are long and painted black and with a little inserts, you could say, of matte black on dark black. She's wearing an off-the-shoulder kind of peasant shirt. Her long black with tight-fitting black, what look like leather or jeans, but are, because she is Flory and infinitely practical in some cases, actually yoga pants that she's tucked into knee-high boots with her just lace all the way up. The only thing, she's got this, her dark black hair is in tousled curls and waves that kind of fall most of the way down her back, that she's kind of pulled back and tied. And the only thing that's got a deviation of color in a fabric beaded headpiece that's red with blue and silver and white beads that are kind of stitched along. It is striking against the all black ensemble that she's wearing. And as she comes in, she notices the styling of a couple of the girls and who are working in the jungle, and she
You're muted.
Sorry, there's another woman that you spot as you come in.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that you see her because she's quite evident. Short, blonde hair and a bob cut. She is wearing also similarly a like a top like you're wearing. But hers is paired with a swing skirt and open-toed shoes. This, looking at her phone and just waiting for the perfect moment to be just fashionably late, is Betty. Betty Duhamel.
I don't care.
Has not seen you come in at all.
Oh, that's-
so, just so you know.
She's gonna walk,
But
and
she's
not
waiting
pay-
by the VIP door.
Oh, Flory doesn't care about her. Flory doesn't care about most of the people here. She notices the girls who are working, and she suddenly pulls a couple embossed in red with gold lettering business cards that have the name of. She kind of like walks over and is like, "You might want to call her. My land is going for a co-op in unionization. I think you'd do better at that job." And just kind of
Let me
hands
make a
out
note.
and they're very stylish little pieces, and you know it. And as she walks by this like, I don't think she would know, like, she probably has heard of Betty, but Flory isn't. Technically, this is officially her first night in Montreal.
Indeed.
In a number of years. An indeterminate number of years. And she's just going to walk by, and as she looks, she's going to give Betty like a cock her head, give Betty a look up and down, is like, you know, that would work better if you tailored it to fit your shape a little bit better, and walk up the stairs. Doesn't pause.
There's nary a gasp coming from Betty. But then seeing that you're going to go in before her, she just, you're fairly certain, you know, she's in back of you. In back of you, you don't see her, but you can feel the smile.
Oh,
You know.
she thinks she's in smiling because she's coming in after me.
Yeah.
I don't know that she really wants to come in after me.
Yeah.
And for everyone upstairs, the door opens, and in the door frame stands Flory Winters.
And she poses perfectly in the door frame so that the backlight of opening the door just strikes so she has a perfect silhouette to accentuate all of her curves. And Flory looks like she's 23, but she is not this modern 23, very svelte looking. She is, if we had to go with a comparison, she has a more Jane Russell build.
Yeah.
So that when she stands backlit perfectly, you can see that she is a very nice looking girl.
I believe the phrase you're looking for might be va 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 voom.
Yeah, at one point it was actually. She has a dress, and she actually has that album signed. She enjoys it. And she walks in, and she goes, "All right, I am here as requested. How many people? Who's paying my bill to murder them?"
We already know I'm paying.
Oh, Artie! Thank you.
Ma'am.
Lucky, it's good to see you again. How are you doing?
Well, all right. And you?
I haven't killed anyone in about 24 hours, so that's kind of a downer, but I'm sure that'll get better in the next 48.
Well, I imagine since you're here, Artie said you were coming, we should probably start with the official business.
So, Yuma pipes up.
So there was a
You
video.
hired...
We're going to do the business, right? So, Night of Ashes. Things go wild. As you all know, somebody released a video onto the internet not too long ago of something that happened at the Night of Ashes. And it showed one of our kind breaching the Masquerade. And that video got put on the internet for everyone to see. Yeah?
You hear from the door as Betty walks in.
Oh, you're late.
Oh, look.
We already started. We didn't think you were coming.
No one who's worth anything shows up on time, dear.
Yes, but
Betty,
Now-
I don't know where you're from. I don't care. But we're trying to actually work on something. So if you're caring about social graces and impressing, you can go back downstairs and work with the other girls. Right now, we're trying to do business.
Well,
she doesn't
I-
work with the other girls. You couldn't get away working here with what she's wearing.
And who are you?
I'm Flory Winters. I'm here to do the murder.
Nice. Another one from the old days.
Define old days.
You call yourself K-Knight or Kindred, girl?
Girl.
Lucky just backs up one step.
Arthur is just like, okay,
Backs
we're
up one
moving.
step.
We're moving.
Just.
It's that move, and then there's a sharp cut of his eyes to Betty, like, well, you need to apologize now, otherwise you might not walk out of this nightclub alive.
Lucky does not give signals to anybody. Lucky's just like, I'm stepping back. This is not. Nope.
Girl. I have to ask. Crone, how long exactly were you suffering from the implication that you, well, didn't need to actually go to the gentleman on the park in 73rd to give you a little bit of assistance?
She's about...
Because these might be called girls, but I'm all woman. Thanks. You might want to go find him. He'll help you fix that for you. So, Yuma, how many people am I killing for you today? And she turns her back on Betty intentionally.
Before Betty is able to reply anything, the door busts open as you hear Diana and shuffling of feet as she pushes forward a ginger-haired guy, early 20s. His glasses almost fall off him as she just pushes him inside and says, look what the cat dragged in. And Alex Simard is carrying and trying to hold on to like a laptop and a projector and other like peripherals and just trying to look. I'm here.
Lucky goes to help.
Yeah, it's Arthur and Lucky just going straight over to help Alex.
Because also it brings us away from that situation. We're just helping with the tech, you know?
And on that, we're gonna take a short break.
Oh, look, tech.
Yeah. So we're gonna set up tech in game. So we're gonna go to break, and we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Stick around, everyone. And we're back. Tech has been set up. Alex has plugged in his laptop, and everything else is set up. The projector is on, and Alex seems to just be waiting for a signal. Oh, yeah, the video, right. So here it is, for those of us who haven't seen it yet. And he opens it, runs it. So you see this footage. It takes place in a very dark environment, lit mostly by what appears to be a flashlight located somewhere near the camera. It is clearly body cam footage, so chances are the person has like the flashlight just hooked on their vest, and there's a lot of shouting around, a lot of gunshots, and you see in the middle of the frame, the person who's filming rounds a corner, and there is this leaping Nosferatu. There is no mistaken. That vampire is ugly as sin. It basically has a like bulbous growth out of the top of his head, like someone stuck a mushroom to the top of his head, and his skin is desiccated, almost like mummified. When it hisses and jumps, you can see cracks forming in the lips as the skin just breaks and tears. Its two milky white eyes focused on the subject, the cameraman, or the camera person. And just as it's about to spring, there's a gunshot coming from the left off camera. You can see the well, it's an incendiary round, so you can see the flash, but you can also see the fire. You can see the little flaming pellets just wash all over this Nosferatu mid-jump as it just turns to ash, but not in a Hollywood way. It's not pretty. It burns and screams as first the mummified skin, but then the blood inside evaporates, and then the bones just turn from white to gray to black to dust, all in the space of about a second. The person filming, you can clearly hear, says, "Fucking shit, what was that?" And the person off camera just says, "Come on, let's go." As the cameraman turns, the corner he had just rounded, you can see half of a silhouette. It's very hard to notice, and you don't know if anybody else in the room has. Lucky you have recognized this person, this kindred. They're hidden, but not so much. You figure that if they wanted to be invisible, they probably could.
Yeah.
But in this case, they were probably more interested in running away.
Yeah.
And just happened to have rounded the corner after the camera and the other person with the shotgun, and were backing away.
Yeah.
And then Alex stops the footage.
So we've seen this footage before. This footage has been out there. Why they're meeting tonight?
Well, Alex looks at Diana, who just nods. There's been development. So do I have to talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, buddy.
So this video, right? It's already a couple of copies I've been sold already. I made sure to check. It hasn't been uploaded on YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one has done anything, thankfully. The DVDs, and he ejects it from his laptop and holds it. It says they're encrypted. You need like a password to open it, to run it, and so I think it's just too much trouble for someone to try to rip it and put it on the net. Anyway, I've been trying to keep an eye out on copies of this. I don't know how many there are. It's from this this guy, a True Witness QC. That's it, but not True TRU. The TRU Witness QC. Simon will put it in the Zoom chat for us. So that's his handle. And he's the guy selling it. So that, I mean, my copy here, the one that I've shared with all of you, I got it about like 6 months ago. And yeah, True Witness told me that, well, if that was the guy I met, that this was the, one of the only 2 copies in existence. He might have made more. I mean, it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that he made more. Anyway, I bought mine for like 500, but then word on the street was that some other people might have gotten a copy for less than that, and then later on some for more. Anyway, I think it goes for $1,000. So
Sounds like there's been more than 2 copies.
Oh, yeah, probably. It's just, I think it's prohibitive for most of the kind to get their hands on that. Like no one's going to pay $1,000 for 30 seconds of footage.
People pay $1,000 for like Beanie Babies.
Yeah, but they do that on the internet. This we have to like call a meet. Now I tried to call the guy back, and then Yuma just interrupts and says, "And you fucked up." I didn't really fuck up. I might have sounded a little too over. I think I spooked the guy, right? So I've been trying to find him again using like all the other info that I have, right? And so when I found something, I went to Diana, well, Mr. Duval, but he's not here. And they figured we should do something. And
what did you find?
So I got this other video. And as he types on his computer, on his laptop, he says, "Now this isn't a Masquerade breach, okay? Just so we're all clear, all right? No one in this other video has messed up, okay?
Could you rewind first? What is this video? Where did you find it?
So there's a lot of copycats, you know what a copycat is, right? Okay.
Yes, they're calm down.
Okay. Well. Yeah, if the guy had a heart that was still beating, like, you could probably hear it from where you are. Anyway, I got the footage, so I got one from a copycat. It's just...
Where did you get the footage? How did you find out about it? What did people say? How did you find out about it?
That one I found out because I kept searching on the internet, and there's this website,
Named?
Reddit.
Uh-huh. Go
Okay,
on.
so people sometimes will, like, upload like spooky stories and stuff. Anyway,
Okay, so you're on Reddit. You didn't find this on 4chan. Move on.
Anyway, look. And he presses play on that other video. And at least 2 of you recognize the area. It's Silvio's.
Hmm.
And it's footage from a very shaky camera. Probably a phone held in one hand. And it's nighttime. Silvio's is closed. And you see this tall, short hair, blonde guy. He's just wearing, a t-shirt and shorts. Very casual. Arthur, you recognize Ralphie immediately. He goes into Silvio's. He's like fiddling with a key to open the door. And the cameraman, because you will hear with the voice, says, almost in a whisper, "It's one of them. They're everywhere. Steve's was just the beginning." And then, the phone shakes and the footage cuts. So, yeah. So the reason why I found it, right, is because, well, it's kind of hard to find anything without giving away who we are. And you don't want to do bad things on the internet. So you're careful, and you just look for, unexplained phenomena in Montreal. And so there used to be a lot of bad folks here. A lot of disappearances. Like, kind got really worried in the early 2000s. I remember I was just a kid back then, but I remember, and Valois just holds up his hand and says, "Alex, please, just focus." Yeah, so there's this running conspiracy, if you will, among kind, that the people that disappeared were replaced by aliens. I know, it's silly, it's stupid, but I'd rather they believe it.
What was this thing about Steve-O's in that video? Play it back.
He plays it back. The voice just repeats. Where's my quote? Oh, there it is. "It's one of them. They're everywhere. Steve's was just the beginning."
What's that?
I don't know. Do you know how many Steves there are in Quebec? I found this video last week. All right. The guy that posted, I tried to follow, breadcrumbs. It was a they call it like a burner account. He just posted that one video, and nothing else. But yeah, when I showed it to Mr. Duval, And then he turns to Lucky and Arthur. And technically Flory as well, but he doesn't know that.
Flory by this point is lounging on one of the banquettes.
Okay.
And just watching everything, but she isn't getting... She's looking very relaxed at the moment.
It's your domain, right?
It's my necromancies.
Yeah. Now, before anyone says anything, these two, and he points to you two, Lucky and Arthur, they haven't fucked up. Not that I know of. And Yuma just grunts and he's like, who the fuck are you to say who fucks up or not?
Shh.
So, Arthur.
Yes, Yuma?
Mind telling us what the hell that was? You know that blondie over there?
Yeah, I know Alfie. He's a good kid. He's kind. He's no alien.
Okay. But, the voice said that is something about one of us.
One of
I don't
them.
like that.
Oh, Yuma, you're getting paranoid. Also, you're buying into the conspiracy theories.
Not buying into shit.
There's a number of ways this can play.
Uh-huh. I'm all ears.
One, your paranoia is right. And we possibly have some hunter who's got an idiot on a string that's scoping out my gym. That's a possibility. We also have a possibility that there's some conspiracy nut that all of a sudden thinks Ralphie is an alien, which is very kind to do, but still is drawing attention to an area that doesn't need that. That's the best case. And then there's everything in between. Now, we still have to find this true witness QC and make certain that what they have, all of it, because I am certain they have more than just one body cam video, is destroyed. And we need to find the names of every other person they have given one of those discs to and solve the problem.
Question. Then we heard the camera person from both videos. Is the voice the same or is it different?
It is not the same voice.
I didn't think so.
The voice from the footage during the Night of Ashes comes from someone who has a deeper, more mature voice.
Yeah.
The other sounded like late teens, maybe?
Yeah. Look, the video from the Night of Ashes is unfortunate, but it's not like the hunters didn't know there were vampires in Montreal at the time. That's what the Night of Ashes was about. So I imagine the hunters may be interested in this person as well. I feel like there might be a lot of people interested in that. I'm a bit more interested in this second video. I imagine that first video might have been done by a police officer, maybe some kind of cop.
It definitely looked like a body cam, but the second video, it comes to my attention. Now, Yuma, thanks for jogging my paranoia.
Anytime.
There's another explanation for that. It's about time she showed back up, that bitch.
Who?
My side. This definitely looks like a valid plot, if there ever was one. Pick somebody.
My Zalmati isn't here to play.
Indeed. But this could be Val sending me a message. She knows where I am.
Excuse me, Mr. Porter. That's
Mhm.
Diana. Are you saying that you coming here, you're also dragging with you the ire of other kindred? Floridian?
One specific. And don't worry, she made enough of a mess back in Florida. She doesn't have many friends. But she has. I can keenly tell you because, again, I don't care about getting messy, Diana. He smiles. Right.
No, but a lot of us know what it's like in Florida. We've heard the rumors.
Oh dear, your imagination's too small for what Val does. I was turned because I would make a very good monster. And I was instructed this. And there is a rule between the two of us. One that we hold dear. Might be something clan-like, as he gets a little bit more menacing. Death is a release, Dom. You make the pain last. And she's about to do. So that could be the other possibility. I like being honest. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Sounds like some kind of teenager who's doing this. The footage isn't very good, shaky. They're wrong. Whatever it was they thought, they weren't even correct. I don't think it's something, I don't think it's about anything that big. Sounds like some kind of, especially if Alex was able to get it off the internet so easily. Bet it's some sort of amateur, paranoid ideas, incorrect ideas, but too close.
Yeah, but what if and that's what I told Mr. Duval is okay, what if Steve is true witness though?
There is a possibility of that connection. So you want to correct. So is Caleb to Ward.
See, they
We
said
need more information.
Steve's was just the beginning. Not Steve, but Steve's. That's possessive. Steve's what? Is Steve a person or a place? Steve's death? Steve's a bar?
I funny you should say that. I went to check the music store, Steve. Yeah, no, they're good. I mean, I do business with them. They're oblivious to.
No, Steve's was just the beginning.
All right.
That statement means something. Glory?
Since I'm here on business and I'm actually getting paid for this, and at this point she sits up for the first time during this conversation. Youngling, your name, you never actually introduced yourself. I'm sorry. I'm Flory Winters.
Yeah, not used to this. Alex. You can call me Alex.
Alex
Simard. I own
Simard.
Yeah, I do stuff for people.
He's a good kid.
That's big.
Yeah, very obviously a kid. Alex, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice and then I'm going to ask a bunch of questions and you're going to answer me as bluntly and honestly as possible because if you don't, I'm going to shatter your mind. So first question for a little piece of advice. Number 1, stand up straight. Exude yourself into the space and you will actually begin to believe you belong in the space. You have information. You are important because you have information and do not let everybody walk all over you. All right. Hey, chin up. There we go.
And you can see like he casts glances at Antonio, especially when you say like he's important and don't let people step on him and all that. And even Antonio sort of almost like shrinks and steps like he was like standing, like leaning on a table, just listening and watching the videos, and he's trying to just he's looking for a chair now to sit down. Yeah.
All
okay.
right. Now, Alexander, right? Alexander, Alexei.
No,
look like
just
an Alex.
Alex. It was just Alex.
Oh, no, darling. It's never just anything. It's always something. You don't want to ever just be anything. If you're just anything, you're a body, and you're not a body. You're still walking around. Right?
That a
I think
compliment?
Alexei. We'll go with Alexei. We'll go with that. We'll work on your hair later, but we'll go with Alexei for now.
But my name's Alex.
Your name was Alex. Now you need to embrace something else. Everything's about change, darling. Now, number questions. Number 1, you got this video on the DVD. How much did you pay for it?
I said $500.
Cash?
No, that was the first one. The second one.
No, the second one
I'm talking about the video on the DVD, the first one.
the second one I got it off of Reddit. That was free.
Okay, so we're not worrying about that one. Okay, Alex, number portion. If somebody actually thinks that they have something that is actually proving something, they're going to sell it, not put it up for free. The reason is they want to get something out of it. If it doesn't actually show anything, they're not going to put it up for free. A lot of people like claim this that proves this conspiracy theory and that they're truthers and all of this bullshit. No, they don't actually care about that. If they know that it's worth something, they'll sell you for it. So number 1, you paid money for it, therefore somebody actually believes it's worth something. So you paid $500, cash or credit?
I paid cash because that's what he wanted.
Okay, well, he's not entirely unintelligent. Number 2, where did you meet him?
Oh, park, La Fontaine.
La
It's like-
Fontaine.
yeah. Basically, we just
Okay, where exactly in this
Sa-
park?
it was like a like one of those like mafia movies, you know, where you sit on a bench and then the other person sits on the bench, and then you like just drag like an envelope across, and then you get up and you leave. Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't my question. Where in this park? Is it somewhere that's commonly walked, or is it a full corner out of the way?
No. So you know when you go into La Fontaine, there's like the place where
Alex,
all the people.
Alexei, look at me.
What?
Do I look like I come from this city?
No, but other people can tell you.
Okay,
So
so when I
there's-
ask the question, you answer the question I asked. Is it someplace that's normally walked, or is it out of the way in a corner?
No, it's normally walked.
Thank you. Number 2, how long did you have to wait when you sat down? Was he there before you, or were you there before him?
I don't remember how long I waited, but not that long. Like I didn't even get hungry.
Okay. So, but you had to wait. He was not there in advance, and he didn't show up within the next, say, 3 minutes.
No.
So
No,
an extended period of time.
He told me midnight, but he wasn't there at midnight. I don't know when he got there, but yeah.
An hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, we need to work on your timekeeping. These are important things to remember. Remember, chin up, up. There we go. All right. So he spent time. He was probably watching you when you sat down to make sure that you were alone. You brought cash. How much? In what denominations did he ask for? Did he care about the denominations of the bills?
No, he just asked me for cash.
Did you walk up to an ATM, or did you get it out of the actual bank?
I
Or did you
shot-
take it out from underneath your, mattress?
I got it from my store.
Okay. So
Like
standard
revenue.
denominations?
Yeah, those were just like a bunch of 20s.
Okay. Was it the 20s that you were going to deposit, or was it the 20s that you got as a deposit?
Huh? Oh, no, it's 20s that people gave me.
Okay, so we can't count the money. So the monies are non-traceable, but it's standard currency.
Betty chimes up and says, "Are these questions going to lead anywhere, Miss Flory?"
Mrs. Thank you. Now, yes. Would you like to go and do a murder? Because that's what I was hired to do.
Well, right now I see you asking a lot of questions about money and not a lot of questions about murder.
Betty, I'm going to give you the best piece of advice anyone's ever given you, Donna. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, you know what? You're all professionals. I'm sure you can do the things. I've got places to be.
Really? Who's looking for you?
None of your business.
Hmm.
And she just walks out in a huff
Betty?
and slams the door.
My second piece of advice. Don't make any long-term plans.
Yuma slaps your back so hard, laughing. It's like, I like you now.
See, Yuma, this is why I thought you would get along with my Rajul Ahmad. You two will get along eventually. You'll also get along with Hamia as well, too, but that'll take a little longer. All right, Alexei.
Alex, yeah.
We'll get this. Alex is a peon who deserved to die. You are not.
He just looks at Diana and is like, I don't know how to react to that. It's okay, Alex. Just answer Florrie's questions, and then you can go home.
Two more questions, little child.
Yeah?
How did you originally make contact with the individual? Did they seek you out, or did you seek them out?
Oh, everyone's very interested by that question. All the more interested by the answer that Alex is about to give, because it might have crossed everyone's mind, but no one has asked it so far. And Alex says, well, you see, it's when, after the Night of Ashes, I went to look for stuff. As he's talking, can I ask all three of you to please make me a wits plus awareness roll?
Oh, I can do that.
Let's see.
I can do that. So we should just have to click.
You click
Awareness.
wits first.
And then the second attribute. No, you do the.
You can do the skill first. I think
skill first, and then it'll ask you for the attribute, and that which can give you wits, because it doesn't ask you for skills; it only asks for attributes.
Right.
Sorry.
Difficulty, it's asking for.
Oh, the difficulty in this case would be we'll leave it at 3.
Okay.
All right.
Rather difficult check, but
6. I'm very confused as to successes.
so you got 2 out of 3 successes.
2 out.
You
Oh,
got
2 out
three
of 3.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
failed and 1. So you can always, if anyone wants to use their willpower,
To re-roll.
to re-roll, that is a possibility. Let me just check. I think it's up to 3 dice. Was it?
You are closer, Prax. You've got 2 out of 3.
So did Pope.
Yeah.
And what are we doing for pushing it here? I guess is the question.
I think it's what willpower to re-roll.
Willpower.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. If your roll includes any successes but fails, you could win at a cost. In this case, we're not going to use that. But with willpower, you can reroll up to 3 regular dice.
Okay, so
So
if I spend
sounds
a
like it-
willpower,
Lets you re-roll the fails in this case.
yeah, it would re-roll the fails, but I
It would
keep the 2
yeah.
successes.
Yes, the only difference is for Lucky specifically, he's got 1 hunger die, so that one can never be re-rolled with willpower.
Right.
All right, so I'll spend the willpower and then roll manually, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't see any way to just roll willpower. Oh, it's the I
Where?
guess. Let me see.
So that's resist frenzy.
No, but in the top left corner of the sheet, there's a D10 icon next to Whisper
Yeah.
Roll. You can just click on it. You
Oh.
don't have to give it a name. It's just a name that's going to appear at the top of the box.
Yep.
Okay. So re-roll, just to make my life easier.
Yeah.
And dice to roll 3. Okay.
Yep.
Difficulty 3.
Well, we don't really care about the difficulty now because it should be
Yeah.
difficulty 1 because you
Yeah.
only need 1 more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I get
And you got
2.
it.
So I get a total of 4 successes.
Yep.
All right. Which actually makes
So-
sense because she is aware for a lot of reasons of a lot of things.
Well, as someone who keeps aware of her surroundings and also of, where other people are focusing, you notice as he's talking, Alex is staring at where Antonio was earlier. Now that's the thing. Antonio's not there anymore.
Hmm.
There's not a big crowd. Everyone notices if they want that Antonio's gone. However, the thing that you'd noticed, Flory, is that after, Betty left in a huff, then you had time to ask your questions. The door to the VIP should not still be swinging, like it's the back swing of the door.
Of it. Mhm.
Antonio left like the moment you asked that question.
The minute she sees that, clocks out of the corner of her eye, the door's still moving, she'll actually stand up. And this whole point she had been flounging and now she was sitting forward. Now she'll stand up and saunter towards Alex. And she's not a tall woman and she doesn't wear heels. She's like barely 5 foot, but she stands almost perfect posture. And she'll slide a hand onto his up his chest and onto his shoulder and look at him and say, "Would you like to tell me, or would you like me to say who encouraged you to go looking for this piece of information?"
You know what? Make that persuasion.
Persuasion.
that-
So
Yeah, manip. Oh yeah, manip and yeah.
and persuasion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
And,
charisma?
And we're gonna look for a difficulty 1 actually, because it probably won't take too much. You've already.
How about 5?
Oh.
Yeah,
a
that
crit.
is a that is a I believe a critical success.
Oh.
Let me just see the counts as the critical counts as 2 more successes. And so
it'd
you
be
have a
total of
critical win.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. He melts.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever resolve he tried to have is just gone. Either
Mhm.
because you've overloaded his anxiety with all of your questions and also all of the things you've been saying, and this moment of, not gonna say tenderness, but I'm gonna say like it's a lull in the
Mhm.
barrage of questions and everything you've been
Mhm,
saying.
mhm.
And that's just enough to, open the floodgates, as it were. It says, it was Antonio and I. He
Mhm.
he did not force me. He did not convince me. It's just we've been here before. He's older than me, but I haven't had it easy, and and the some of the packs, they had like a lot of toys, a lot of stuff that they considered like sacred or whatever. I thought it
So
might
you
be
were
important.
stealing. So you were stealing from the Sabbat.
Well, they're gone, so
You
I'm
were.
not.
I said you were stealing from the Sabbat. I don't have a judgment here. I steal from the Sabbat all the time if I can get away when I can.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
but
steal
I
from the
mean,
Camarilla, so it doesn't really matter.
they were gone when we went. We went
Oh,
through
so you're just looting their graves. That's fine.
went through like their
Mostly.
havens, the ones that we knew, and everything.
Mhm.
And I tried to look for stuff, and then I just met this guy.
So this answer to my question is that you are doesn't remember what I asked. My question was, so you and Antonio were already liberating a bunch of things, and then all of a sudden somebody came to you saying that they had a piece of film that they wanted to sell.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have another question for you, Alexi.
Alex, yeah.
No, you're definitely going to want to be on Alexi in the near future.
What?
Have you ever managed to ensure your identity isn't tied to yourself? Have you protected your fingerprints, your DNA, saliva, blood, anything?
Well, I mean, blood I know a lot about.
You were
none of
robbed.
it is mine.
While this is happening right now, I'm going to just mosey over to the computer and I'm going to look at the case that the DVD came in, and I'm going to just inspect the DVD case.
Yeah. Flory is going to look at this kid and go, Alexi, you mean to tell me you were robbing a bunch of places of people that had just died, that were publicly connected for a long period of time to the city in which they currently reside, which means they've had ties to also Kine, and therefore the Kine knew about these locations as well, and you didn't protect things like, oh, wait, your fingerprints, your visual appearance on surveillance footage?
Oh, no, we were careful about that.
Should I do wits awareness?
If you're looking through a computer,
No,
Oh, no,
I'm
it's
looking at
just
the
the DVD.
DVD
Just the
case.
case.
Yeah. I mean, I'll look at the DVD as well, but I want to look at the case, including like inside the case. I want to look at the case quite. You know how sometimes when you work in a library or a video store, they have like little devices in there. So if you walk out with it without paying and it hasn't been deactivated,
Yeah.
it goes off.
I'd say go with investigation. That seems like an investigation to me.
Okay.
And I'll be looking for just one. No, actually make that difficulty 2, and I will be just right back.
Mm-hmm.
Flory's going to turn at this point and like having a hand on Alex and look to Lucky and go, Hamia, this child needs your assistance.
And I am, just wanting to see if there's a tracking device
Mhm.
in the case of this DVD that was bought. You know. Yeah. And it's just not ripping, don't want to be rude to somebody's property. But you know. Mhm.
Rajamali. She'll kind of look over it.
Two. I got it. I got the 2 successes.
So, with 2 successes,
Yeah, I got them.
it's a almost like transparent, cheap plastic case. Wouldn't be like even the paper sleeve that was normally like slid in there has been removed. The case itself has no proper markings on it. I mean, there's the name of the brand that's like sort of etched in the back. But one thing you notice is you like hold it up and just really inspect it through the
and
light.
the DVD, if I can, it's those 2 things because those things came from him, from this person. So we just want to make sure,
Yeah.
The
DVD has nothing on it, not even like a title written on it in Sharpie or what have you. No, but the thing that was interesting is on the cover itself, the DVD case is just very greasy.
I, being sort of careful, hand it to Flory. Cover's a bit weird. I don't notice any kind of tracker.
Yeah, it was kind of sticky.
Flory's gonna hold it by the corner and sniff it.
If there were any smells that were like the original smells of the case, that's long gone. Unless you have a power for it, like some sort of Auspex ability. It smells... You've never been, but if you ever go, it smells the same thing as Alex's pawn shop right now.
Artie, you are a doctor, you know things. Maybe you can get a sample off of that and test it.
I doubt it's going to give me anything particularly useful. I don't have a mass spectrometer in my basement. But if somebody does have some contacts with the local forensic community, he looks around the room. Now would be a good time to talk about it.
Everyone looks at each other. Valois will be the first to reply and say, it was rather difficult with the prior occupants to have any influence with anyone that would collect the victims of their past times. I myself have not tried to build any sort of ingress with the law enforcement here. I'm not really interested.
Law enforcement's compartmentalized, Valois. I don't need the cops. I need who the cops go to research their evidence. I need the nerds, Valois.
If you need nerds, Arthur, look with that pale Nosferatu. Fairly certain Caleb. He likes some nerds.
I'll see about having a conversation with Caleb later. He doesn't like crowds. But thank you for pointing me in the right direction, Valois.
Look, we've got 2 different things going on here. One, looks like you were set up, especially since my understanding from Mrs. Flory's expert jogging of your memory, that after you got this, he was a bit hard to contact again.
Yeah, well, I when I met him, I met him. The guy just like hailed me on the street, right? Like
He
like
did.
like a pusher would, you know. And he's like, "Oh, you're looking for something interesting?" And I told him I'm just.
Were you alone?
Yeah, I was walking back to my place, and anyway, the thing is,
And Lucky just
because
looks at
of-
Florey like, what are you going to do?
because of what we were doing, you know, I had ingested a couple things, so I could read his mind. And
Let me rephrase this. You ingested blood or are you ingesting other things? Because that's a very important distinction here.
oh, yeah, you're not from here. One of the things I make for people, I make it's like a video game term, but I make potions, tonics.
He's a blood alchemist, Flory.
Yeah.
You know, the last one of those I knew ended up on the very bad side of the church.
Yeah, well, with the amount of churches that are here, you're always on the bad side of one of them at least.
No, I meant
thought
the
that you-
church. That's an entirely distinct distinction.
No, so you thought you could read his mind effectively. Go on.
Yeah, so I thought at first he was just going to, like, push me some, I don't know, probably pot, whatever, might have been stronger stuff. But then I saw in his mind, no, the guy just had that, and he motions to the projector, that Nosferatu in his
my
mind.
lord.
He, like, I saw part of the footage, and then, you know, I was like, well,
When you ingest these substances with which to perceive someone else's mind, have you ever practiced shielding your own?
okay, you have to give me a bit of credit here.
A bit of credit.
And you see that, like, now he stands a little more upright.
I gave you credits. I gave you expectations.
Yeah, well,
Because, darling, he walked up to you in the street, and the first thing you perceived from his mind is an image of a Nosferatu on fire.
oh, it's not just the first thing. Like, I'm just simplifying things, but the
Don't
point is,
simplify things. Did either of us ask you to simplify things?
okay, well, at first, he thought that I would probably just ignore him. And then he thought about going for burgers. And then, when I actually approached him, he started thinking about money. And then he started about doing coke on a girl's ass. And then he thought about his mom. And
What
then
did she
he
look
thought
like?
about the...
What did she look like?
Oh, she's...
No, the girl whose ass he was snorting.
No, the
coke off.
mom.
The mom was also important. You're correct.
I don't know about the ass. It was just an ass in a thong.
Okay, that actually means, was it here's an important question for you. Was it a satin silk thong or just something that she probably wore every day?
I don't know. He was just thinking about the concept of doing blow.
Mom. The mom.
That's an important distinction. Can you picture her face? Draw it even.
I can't draw it, but she's, she looked, mean, angry, disappointed. I think she looked disappointed. Yeah. Probably because he was
Race.
thinking of,
Height, hair color.
oh,
Can you
Or-
write all this down? Could you write down exactly what he looked like and what she looked like? Go on with your story.
sure. Yeah, I will.
Write it down.
I have nothing to... Okay, my laptop. And he takes the laptop and types it. So the guy that he met was wearing a black hoodie, dark blue jeans, and of course that happened. Remember, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So we were in winter, like late February. Normally, you're not outside at night for a long time in just a hoodie.
So he was wearing. Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
And then, so he was wearing a hoodie with the dark jeans, winter boots, and he had his hands in his pocket. Alex didn't get a good look at his face, but he remembers he had like a stubbled beard, stubble all over. And he thinks the guy had brown hair. That's all he saw.
Mother?
So the mother she has brown hair, like her son, apparently. She might be Mexican, maybe South American, because she had darker skin. But it could also just be like a fake tan. She was wearing a like a bathrobe over pajamas, like flannel pajamas. The pajamas were like lilac in color. And
age.
She was. Alex thinks maybe in her 60s. Like, if not retired, maybe like counting down the time until she retires.
Alex, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know if this person was definitely kind?
Oh yeah. I could smell that. Yeah.
Okay.
You can smell that.
Well,
Are you sure?
All of you?
Are you sure?
What do you mean by that?
You can trust your senses 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't you? Hey, he looks to everyone else like, is it a normal thing?
Are you sure? And she's just going to make the appearance, scent, feeling of honeysuckle start to permeate around him.
That, I believe, requires a rouse check.
Maybe.
Actually,
maybe.
One of them doesn't. Hold on.
Compel is free, but that's
Compel is free. No, I'm looking at
Yeah, no,
chemistry.
That's definitely not compel.
It's chemistry. Luckily, I have the page.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
I
one rouse check.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. All right.
Versus his composure and wits.
Yeah, it's yeah, manipulation plus obfuscate versus composure and wits.
By the way, I hand the DVD case to Artie so that Artie can take a sample.
What is it? It's
case he wants to.
obfuscate and manipulation.
You know,
So
it's important.
can I figure out this? Okay, that's not gonna work. How do I add that? So I see what it's just gonna be this. None. Extra dice 3 because I can't add obfuscate as a roll.
Oh, it doesn't let you.
Mm-mm.
Extra,
So you have to roll. Yeah, I have to roll the power as a separate roll.
Yeah.
Add them as individual dice.
Okay.
And then it's a contested check. So
Yep.
what's the difficulty? 0?
Yeah, difficulty 0 because it'll depend on what I roll.
Yeah. So that's 4 successes plus
nice.
a crit.
No, I think you need 2 10s for it to be a crit, and you only have 1.
Well, a 10 counts as 2 successes.
So that's why you have
I
1,
should
2,
have 5.
3, 4, 5.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should have 5.
which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a result of 10 on 2 regular dice is a critical success.
Yeah, is a total crit.
And
but rolling a 10 as a D10 counts you
I
as
see.
2 successes.
but I also need your rouse check.
Yeah, so that's beats his, but rouse check.
See if you get hungry. You get hungry.
You are
Why-
now hungrier.
Okay.
But we cannot get rid of our final hunger die unless we kill someone.
Mhm.
Yep.
So we'll always have 1 at least, unless we kill someone.
Well, you were already at 1, so now you're at 2.
And I'm at 1. No, I'm
No, you should be at 2 as well. Unless you killed someone right before coming in here and
no, I mean,
emptying them.
admittedly, Flory did say she hasn't committed a murder in a couple days. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and she's still staring at him like there hasn't been anything. Are you 100% sure you can trust your senses?
Yeah, why?
What does it smell like to you right now?
Honeysuckle?
I don't smell that.
Is it? No?
Mm-mm. Smells like rum and orange juice.
Al, there's still lots to learn about what is out there and what a kindred can do.
I can do a lot of things.
But he wasn't kindred.
How do you know? You said you could smell that he was kind. How can you trust your senses?
I was
Well-
just going to go with something a bit easier. If I knew you could read minds, couldn't I just think things on purpose?
And you described somebody who in the middle of February was standing around in a hoodie and jeans.
Yeah, no, clearly the guy had been probably like watching the place. But I mean, it was an abandoned apartment, so maybe he was also, saw that the owners were gone and he was going to just go in and steal stuff like I did. Anyway, where was I with the whole thing?
You weren't
Yeah.
trusting your senses because they lie to you.
Anyway, he yes, but the thing, I saw that he knew something. So
Because he
I
thought it.
yeah, so I feigned interest, to get it. And well, then I was like, sure, what do you have? And he's like, well, I have pot. And I'm like, come on, man, you probably have something better than that. And he's like,
Which proved that you could read his mind. Go on.
And then he was like, well, I'm a filmmaker. And then I was very confused. I don't remember filmmakers just peddling their movies at night. But
No,
anyway,
'cause it's
he's
a
like,
setup.
Well, that's not true. There are some filmmakers I know who did peddle movies at night, but not the kind of ones that would approach you. You couldn't afford theirs.
oh, okay. Anyway, he was like, I got something cool. something like snuff. And I'm not into that myself, but I know a couple people who are, so I was like, might as well, restock. So I asked him how much, and then we set up the thing, and I figured the guy was, in my mind, he was probably a ghoul of that Nosferatu. So if someone else had survived, I wanted to know, and I thought that would be a good way to maybe know more. Like, maybe the video he has, like, I'd recognize, a face or something. I didn't. And then, yeah, he told me when we got on that bench that I wasn't the first one, but that he kept his stocks low, that he had only 2. And he's like, I only have 2.
Which means he says there's only 2 that he currently has in stock, not that he only had 2 versions of the video.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that might be that.
Which means he's got a means to recreate it in enough space to do it. He's got security protections.
You also said it was very encrypted, right?
It's not very encrypted. It depends on how good you are with computers, like, you need a password, right, to open it. And if you try to open it without the password, it just corrupts itself.
Right. But if you have it, you could rip it and then put it on the internet, right?
Yeah. But I've scoured the internet so far, and no one has.
So he's selling to people he knows won't put it on the internet, which means he knows he's selling to kindred. That's good to know.
And you said that you tried to find him again, but you couldn't because you thought you spooked him.
Yeah. I asked a bunch of questions when we were on the bench, because,
Like what?
Oh, like where he got it. And does he have more? And he's like, well, not right now, but I might. And I was like, okay, how do I get to, how do we get in touch again? Because I'm interested in having more. And he was like, we'll see.
Which means he knows where to find you permanently.
I don't think the guy is as competent as you think he is.
Oh, he doesn't have to be competent. You're just that incompetent. It's okay. We can get you trained eventually.
So here's the thing. I've just got a couple of questions. Let me see if I've got this right. So you are looting former Sabbat places while you're out and about looting. It's fine. Some guy that you think of as just a regular kind with no special abilities in any way, who's wearing a hoodie only in February, just happens to see you and flags you down. You are a person who has been in Montreal for a while, so people know the things you can and cannot do. Then this person, you read their mind, and they specifically are thinking about the image of a Nosferatu on fire, which makes you interested.
They weren't specifically.
It was in their mind, right?
Yeah, but it went from like everything to that eventually, because, he's thinking about what he's going to sell me.
Right. And so you see that, and then you are interested. And then he says, oh, I'm only interested in pot. And then the aggressor who's in charge of the situation says, no, you certainly have more than that. So this is now your idea to pursue because you read his mind and happened to see an image. And then you, being in charge of the situation, go and meet him exactly where he wants you to. And you haven't thought about why it is he happened to flag you down where you were on your way home. So in the park, he gives you this. It's a little bit weird. And he tells you there are only two. If you want more, maybe I can find some. Now, my thought would be that seems a little strange that he would approach you. Seems a little strange that the way that he hooks you is by thinking thoughts, which you can then read. And then you also confirm to him that you can read his thoughts. When he says, I am going to sell you pot, and you say, no, no, I know that you have something more than that, which is just a confirmation for him that you did indeed read his thoughts, so that you are the mark he was looking for. So he gives you this DVD. Now the question becomes, and now you cannot find him again because his mission is done, I would assume. The question is, who does he work for? Why did he give you this DVD? This second DVD, which is the reason why we're all here today, apparently seems to be completely different on a very different situation, and possibly a problem, possibly not. I mean, it's something to worry about, but that's not this. This is a setup.
Okay. But I don't know what to do. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here. Right?
No, technically we were here because of the video in front of Silvio's.
I'm here to commit a murder.
That too.
Everyone settle down. Al, you did good gathering everything, bringing it here and letting us know. You also made some rookie mistakes, and I can't blame you for them because, well, let's face it, you haven't had the best figures in your life to inform you as to what's going on and what's out. That needs to change. But you did good. And thank you.
Okay.
Like, if we were going to give this a grade, it might be a C plus, maybe a B minus. And Florey's going to walk around and go sit on the banquette again and lounge and like half turn towards Yuma.
You'll notice that both Yuma, Valwa, are on their own, right? Deep in thoughts. Yuma started biting his nails again. Diana will walk up to Alex and just tell, she whispers something to him.
So, who was in charge of the police before the Night of Ashes?
Can I hear what?
That's a question even Simon would need to check, because honestly, we don't care. In the sense that whoever was there, believe you me, they're gone.
Can Florey hear what Diana's whispering to Yuma?
Well, no, Alex.
Oh, yeah. Alex. Sorry. Can I hear what she's whispering?
If you can, with an awareness check, yeah, wits awareness. Okay. So the thing about the cops and everything is that there is none of that information. I don't have it at the moment. If Lucky researches it, i.e. in between now and our next session, I can come up with it.
Yeah, because I think he would ask because there are people who were here back then, right? So he's like, depending because you were here. Like those people who were, because I think Alex and maybe...
Antonio's gone.
One of our friends.
Valois was
not here.
Deeply, we don't know.
Yeah, he was
deeply hidden.
Yeah,
and in his little corner.
Yeah,
and Yuma stayed on the outside for the most part, but he's been around here for a long time.
4 successes.
All right, you definitely hear. She says, "You did great, Alex. Now, if you want, grab yourself something from downstairs and just go home."
Oh, and Alexi, I'll come see you in a couple days. We'll work on a lot of things.
Sure, I'm gonna go now.
Hey,
Take it easy.
Alex, you might want to move.
I'll look into that, yeah.
And be careful. They might know where you live.
It has been 6 months. They might be taking their time.
Not allowing you to become complacent and not worry about things so that they can then shove a Molotov cocktail through your place of business in your home.
Although probably you are not the main target. You're just the,
Messenger.
yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Take it easy, man.
He looks more and more uneasy.
Good.
And he leaves, and as he does so, you know, when the door is closed, Diana just walks up to the middle of the room to like announce, you know, with everything done, with all the videos shown and the very thorough interrogation of Alex. I trust that, and she looks at Flory, that you're the professional who's handling this?
I was brought here and hired to do a murder. That's what me and my Zalnati do.
Wait, Ms. Saint Laurent, I feel like all of us here have been around a little bit longer than Alex. Are we not going to talk about this?
Yes. Depends what you want to talk about, but the hour is late. The
I see.
night isn't so young anymore.
No.
If you want just the older of us to reconvene. And she looks at Yuma and Valois, and Yuma just grunts a, those three seem to have it under control.
Well, Yuma, you do know my credentials.
All right, then let me ask this question since none of you all seem to care what this is about. I want to know from you all, especially you, Valois, Miss Mackenzie. This was a trap. It was a message. It was bait. This first one. The second one is not that at all. So, who do you have any suspicions or thoughts about who might have been well placed enough to get this video and might have the incentive to set this trap, this bait, through Alex? That means it's got to be somebody who knows Montreal.
Valois replies with a little smirk. The kid might not be able to trust his senses all the time, but he knows how to obfuscate a story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't suppose any one of you can read minds.
My form of mind reading is much messier than Alex's.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh boy. Alex might be a good alchemist. And I'm fairly certain he can cook something up, but he lied to all of us.
Oh, I know. He had too many times to have a conversation with my face and not enough with my tits.
I don't know enough about Alex for that, but I did a bit of digging while he was talking. And, he never went to that apartment. He never met that person on the street. He got the DVD from someone else who just went to his pawn shop to pawn a bunch of things. The story that Alex told you is a story this person told him, without the whole kindred abilities.
Mhm.
Guy was robbing a place, and when he came out, someone had seen him, and he was going to, as you so eloquently put it, Mrs. Flory, do a murder.
I like to be eloquent.
And the person instead, according to the story anyway, gave him the DVD in exchange for his life. That makes no sense to me, but this is what the guy told Alex, and Alex, as you might have seen tonight, is very naive.
How do you know this story?
Do you want me to peer into your mind and pluck away at your every thoughts? Because that's
I'm
what
sure
I
you would-
did to Alex.
Interesting.
He's just too young and his blood is way too thin to be able to notice, even less resist, someone like me.
Remember how I said you should never trust your senses? That's what I told the child.
So, someone came to him into his pawn shop, gave him this DVD, and said, I was going to murder some fella. And in exchange for his life, he gives me this.
The person, I should point out, pawned a whole lot of things that night. Enough that I would be tempted to believe that they did rob an apartment.
Mm.
That part, I know it to be true.
He pawned a lot of things. And Lucky notes, why did Alex lie?
Now, that I had to do a bit more digging. This is a friend of Alex. Akine.
Oh.
Someone that Alex... In proper kindred society, this sort of thing is frowned upon, or even to some extent forbidden.
Oh, is he still in love
Alex-
with his little mortals?
No, he is eyeing that friend for an embrace. Alex should not embrace anyone. I don't believe about this end of the world mumbo jumbo. But Thin Bloods will be our downfall. You saw it with Alex today.
It's not necessarily a downfall if they're properly cared for. Problem is that Alex did not have a proper sire. You and I both know.
I take great care in choosing those I sire, which is why I haven't sired a single person yet. No one has proved worthy. Alex should do the same instead of just, making sure his pals from his college years are still around in 100 years.
If that's a more accurate reason for him not to turn anyone rather than this thin blood issue, which is complicated and not really an issue I'm worrying about. I'm more concerned about the fact that they aren't being cared for, that they don't actually know what they're doing, and therefore they're going to cause and bring more attention upon us.
Alex
This is
the
why
only
you trained
one.
them here.
Here, yes.
He's not the only one.
I'm just saying, if Alex... And he lowers his voice so that Diana doesn't hear. Actually, you know what? No, better than that. It's Valois. What am I doing?
Oh,
I'm going to mind talk you.
Yep.
yeah.
He's going to talk in your mind. Um, and he just, the same voice, but his mouth says other words, right?
Mhm.
He says, the mouth says, maybe someone should keep an eye on Alex, as he just glances at Diana. But in his mind, he says, if it comes to it, I would rather a thin blood than all of us. No thin blood, no problems.
I'll see about looking in on him. One way or another, he needs instruction. And it is obvious he needs a firmer hand than most.
Yes. He also can't lie very well.
Oh, no. He can lie. He just can't lie convincingly to a bunch of monsters.
So, since we have this moment before we end our meeting, this second video seems amateur. Seems like somebody's doing their own monster hunting. I want to know about the Steves. I'm sorry. Balwa, did you get, when you were looking at his mind, the name of his friend?
Yeah.
Was it Steve?
No. Oh shit! How do I translate that into English?
Just give it to us in French.
T-Joe. But the thing is T as in petit, as in small.
Mm-hmm.
Little Joe.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh. Did you also get the description? I feel like I should have a conversation with Petit Joe. Probably before Alex does.
And I want to find out, I thought it was a bit odd when I said that I wanted to know about that comment Steve's was just the beginning. And he said, I checked Steve's and it was fine. That seems strange.
The record store.
The record store.
Yes. Yeah. That was a quick dismissal of the question.
He did dismiss quite a few things.
Yeah, the number of white guys named Steve within just North America in general is enormous. It's like John.
Mm.
So that's not going to be too great of a lead. And I think that may have been on purpose.
I don't know this city very well. Is there a St. Stephen's in this city?
That I do not know because I've been avoiding churches like the plague.
I mean,
that's a good question. And that is something you can definitely find with a check.
okay, which one?
That would be, so oddly enough, that would be occult.
Oh, it has that.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence occult?
Intelligence
occult?
occult, yeah. Intelligence in this case, because you have time to think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it.
And
I need to be right back again.
Mm.
okay.
I don't know. I think that dismissal was a bit questionable.
I think a lot of things are questionable.
Mm.
I do not know if there's a St. Stephen's.
We'll check. We'll look into it.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
pull up my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, Flory is just running off the top of her head, but she's not
Yeah.
from here. She's
Yeah.
on most of her gear aside from her business phone or is in her
RV.
yes, her mobile.
Hello.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
That's just one success. Yeah. Look, there are so many saints.
I'm just going to
So
pull up
many.
my phone and do a Google search for St. Stephen's, Montreal. And as I have done here,
Mhm.
there are two things that immediately pop up that are of interest. One, there's St. Stephen's Anglican Church. But another thing that's quite interesting and more my area of influence is the Mont Stephen, an upscale hotel, dining, and spa.
All I'm saying is that comment Steve's was just the beginning, says we might want to look into any kind of incident that might have happened at a place.
Okay, I will give you this because we're playing in English, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
There is
Etienne.
there's a difference between Steve
Mhm.
and Stefan. In friend, the person I should have said,
Yeah.
talking in French in the video.
Yeah.
Mo Steffens has a F sound.
Mhm.
This one is a pronounced V for Steve.
Which is more the Anglican Church, which is specifically English.
I'm just saying, just so like as
Fair enough.
Yeah.
because I didn't factor that in.
Look, I think if something was just the beginning, they didn't say Steve was just the beginning. They said Steve's. I think we should look to see if there are any incidents that happened, either positive or negative.
I also think I need to take a little bit deeper look at that footage of the first video where we have an unfortunately deceased Nosferatu and a very fortunately not deceased Bruja.
And he just gives you a look, not a happy one.
I don't think she even notices because she's busy going through like a bunch of stuff, making notes and transcribing notes, and she just said it off like the top of her head.
Well, we should maybe do as much studying as we can. And it seems like the rest of you all don't seem very interested.
Valois says, I never said I wasn't. If this anarch grunt over there wants to just let the city burn, fine.
I don't think you can ever say that Yuma wants the city to burn. I mean, he wouldn't have fired me previously if he wanted the city to burn.
I fucking care about the city more than you do, asshole.
This is true.
Oh.
Valois, you never paid for my rates. Yuma did.
Valois just lifts a gloved hand and turns specifically to the three of you.
Yeah.
Making it a point to ignore Yuma.
What's Diana doing right now?
Diana is also there. She's just listening, but you can see that like she really, really wants you all to leave her club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think Flory realizing that and noticing that is going to lean back and lounge even more and then cross her legs, like she's getting settled for a while, and then kind of like wait for what Valois is going to say, but kind of suddenly turn one of her shoulders towards Yuma as if to like include Yuma in the conversation that Valois is intentionally ignoring, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And Valois just says, I care about the city. I care about the future of the city. I have my own issues to deal with, which is why I can't devote all of my time to this. However,
what issues?
Nothing that I can discuss with someone who is not of my clan.
Look, I just want to know, Valois. I just want to know If I have to play around with Justicars and murdering that, I want free advance. I want double, and I want to know in advance.
I am not a Justicar.
I know. So you started talking about your clan, so I figure you're going to invite a bunch of, annoying Ventru here.
I am not. Certainly not a Ventru.
I didn't say you were. I said you were going to invite a bunch of annoying Ventru here.
No, I will not. Now,
Are these problems with your clan something that we, as the interested parties of Montreal, need to know something about?
no. And nothing that you need to concern yourselves about, unless you were somehow well versed in blood sorcery, which I doubt you are.
You'd be surprised.
Now, there's just like a very subtle twinkle when you say that, Arthur, in his eyes. It's just, now, what I can offer is my services. Blood is powerful and can tell us a lot more than the fake stories of a thin blood with a panic attack. If you need my help with, I would say, all matters arcane, but I doubt that whatever whelp has just done all of this and is causing all of these issues is not someone who's versed in what I know. However, should you, let's say, murder the person before they squeal, bring me their blood. I can probably help.
I just want to, for the record, because you use some language, and language is important. You said, if we need help, we can come to you. So you are at this moment saying that you are not part of this team solving the problem of Montreal. I just want to make, for the record, sure that's what you're saying, that you are not the we. You are outside of the solution, but you're willing to help those who are solving it. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when this is all done, the people who stood up to keep this place safe do not include you, is what you're saying.
Let me put it in a way that you might understand. Quick question, Trooper. Have you and Valois already met before? Like, would he know your name?
I don't hang out with any of these people.
No, because, yeah. But would he know your name?
I don't think I've ever met him.
Okay. So then
but he might.
I think he'll just say, I'll put it in a way that you might understand. Mr.
Desmond.
Desmond. Mr.
Is what I'm going by at the moment.
And I will call you Mr. Desmond until the night that you choose to be called otherwise. Now, I care about the future of this city, but I do not have the bandwidth to take care of a city. So of course I'm offering my help, and when time comes to recognize those who've helped this city, I trust that you will also remember who helped you.
Yes, as the people who it seems will be solving the problem, we will remember which of those people helped us. Diana, Yuma, are you part of the we, or are you on the sidelines? Helping.
Yuma. I can smell a blood bag miles away. But whatever Alex showed today, don't fucking know about internet and Reddit and all that shit. And also, as much as I would like to help, and believe me, if this little shit stain is from within the bounds of my domain, I will personally rip them to shreds.
Right.
But I don't know you. I've only heard things about you.
Yeah. Okay,
Mr.
so you're
President.
out. Yeah, so you're out. Diana, are you part of the we? Are you part of the solution? Or are you on the side helping the solution? I just want on the record for all of us.
Loath as I am to somewhat agree with Yuma.
Good. That means you're all out. Good to know. Thank you.
Well,
I think we're done,
you
right?
did not let me finish, but then fine. Yes, we're done. Goodbye. Here's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass.
Well, I thought that Flory here wanted to have a bit more of a drink. If our meeting is done, we can continue to hang out.
Then you can hang out with the kind downstairs.
Oh, well,
I'm going to walk quickly over to Valois.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the help. And a different kind of advice from the one I gave Betty. If Val's coming to town, she's going to want to play pretty little numbers with your entrails. Best get prepared.
I'll have my wards ready.
She's very good. Very.
So am I. And you can feel in his voice like he relishes the... He might know which clan you're from, and he might really want to maybe personally kill Val. Just not because of who she is, but because of what she belongs to.
That's some blood sorcery excitement right there.
I'm just going to say, I've heard that before, and there's a reason there are no Tremere in Palm Beach. As I walk away.
And it's with these wise words that we're going to end our game tonight, because, y'all, it is midnight, and as much as I love you all,
go.
The longer we went, the worse my throat was getting. So, thank you, everyone, for sticking around for this premiere of Montreal by Night. We've barely dipped a toe in what is going on and what went on. I already can't wait for next week. Before we leave, I'll leave the mic up to my wonderful cast of players. If you would like to tell everyone who you are, where we can find you, and I'll take a page from Deirdre and Trooper's streams, and maybe even Pope, but share the love. Talk about something that you enjoyed during this very, very strange meeting.
I'm Trooper SJP, and you can find me, what is today? Monday. You can find me Wednesday at 8 p.m. over at Laugh Love Lindy's, where I am GMing Upon the Hexhamshire Moors, a Good Society game. And then on Friday, you can find me on my channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, Trooper SJP, where I'll be playing Alone Against the Flames, a solo RPG for Call of Cthulhu. And that, I think, is all the RPG this week. But I'm going to give love this moment. I'm going to give love to two things. One, the quiet menace of Artie. Artie sometimes just brings out a little quiet menace that you're like, oh, that's a problem. Let's just, ooh. And then the not so quiet menace, but unstated, of Flory when she was like, girl. And I was like, oh, no, gotta just, there was a real like, oh, no. Step 2 feet away because when it happens, you don't want to be there. And I just want to note, just like with 1 or 2 words, the amount of menace that was projected by my 2 fellow players was a beauty to behold. That is me.
Oh, I'm not muted anymore. Deirdre.
Okay. This was so much fun. Hey y'all. We'll do the easy stuff first. Hey, y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorthesmiophoria, as you see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. You can find me next on my channel, Praxagorthesmiophoria, on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for some Zweihander, The Long Retreat. Last week we found a tank and a chaos touched, but the tank is more important.
A water tank?
No. An Imperial powered steam tank with a big old cannon on it. I wants it.
Right.
Exactly. And then Saturday on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are back with some more A Song of Agapia's Fortune, as the party has made a decision to confront someone. I'm sure it will go away for them. It will go in some manner. But other than that, check my Twitter, because I was supposed to where I'm going to be, and the fun, wonderful people like these folks I get to play with and hang out with. And as for love, number one, I love the byplay between Flory and Lucky as they're like tag teaming. This kid is like, you're going to tell us everything, and we're going to notice every time you fail to tell us the important things. And and Flory never said it, because she's like, you are looking at my face or the floor, and I am right next to you. Nah, kid, I'm sorry. Okay, it's fine. We'll work with this. I loved Artie's, quiet power plays were great. That will be a great thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what else goes. Also, Simon, I hope you didn't want Betty to hang out for a very long period of time. Flory's already kind of mentally shifted Betty to a present that she's going to give her Zalmati, because her Zalmati deserves these kind of presents.
I don't plan on killing anyone. That's all. I mean, I might have to, but I'm not planning on it.
We'll see. I have notes about Betty now. Arthur.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Blood, Twitter, Pope World Blood, Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of this silly face, get a number of opportunities throughout the week. Pretty much, I am like a pug just following Prax around. So between Wednesday and Saturday, you can see me over there on those magnificent shows. And we're taking a break for Brinkwood this week because of Dragon Con. So we will be back the following Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, as we have to distract way too many guards and make a rush for our crown, which we're going to sabotage. So yeah, we'd love to have you for that. And that one raises funds for American Cancer Research. We'd love to have you. And as for love, I've got three. First off, for everyone, just the embodiment of the clans that makes my heart sing. Between Trooper, just that last minute, you in or you out? Okay, I'm done with you. That was just that I absolutely adore. Like, so happy.
You know what? You want to know what it is? You want to know what this knot is about? You know what this is not is? This is not, we're going to go and send our lackeys to do our job. No, all you people. If you're not in, we are the people who are the center of the city, and you're just on the sidelines. That's it. We're not lackeys doing your job. On the record. None of that. Not going to happen.
So good. And then just, do you really think you can trust your senses? And I was just like, yeah.
I was expecting some chemistry shenanigan to follow, and I'm like,
I was
poor little Alex with his one dot of wits, one dot of composure. Like,
yeah, no, there's a reason they're a hitter and they're visiting. It is absolutely perfect. Also, the sass. Good God, the sass. And then Simon, like, You've done it. You are on the small scorecard. You have made me immediately plan the death of someone
Jesus.
in one session. That was masterful. Thank you.
Wait, which one? Val or someone else?
Oh, Val? Again, it's family. Don't kill family.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be more complicated than that.
No, Betty.
Oh,
Betty
yeah, of course.
is like one of my influences for Arthur is Hannibal Lecter. And it was very much like, you are a stain on kindred society. You need to go.
I just want to note for the record, I'm the one that those clans don't like. Just because I'm just saying.
I would also like to point out that I love this. Flory gonna talk to Artie and be like, hey, can we just tie her up with a bow tie and we'll give her to my Zalmati and my Zalmati will deal with it. It's fine. Probably will eat her, but
like, she is so low in the totem pole. I don't want to torture her first. Like, that's just how beneath me she is. It is just like, you just gotta go. It's like something that's gone rancid and you just need to throw it the fuck out. And then Valois just, you are going to be a delicious problem. And I am looking forward to it. And poor Alex. Like, all of these amazing characters that we are just seeing the start of. And hell, let's fit in the plug here. So you're going to see a lot of these NPCs and chapters. So go and get it. You are seeing where some of these people are. Go grab it. And thank you all so much for being here. We're live VOD YouTube stories, nothing without audience. Much part of this is VR. Take care of yourselves, one another. See you around.
And thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you players. Thank you chat for hanging out until way past midnight. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I apologize for coughing a lot during the stream and for having to get up, but them's the times, I guess. We'll be back next week for the second episode of our Montreal by Night Chronicles. Chronicle singular. Oof. On the channel on Thursday, we have Hill Horror County, which is a horror story using the Quietus system told by Marlo Bugwitch that takes place during a peach festival in Texas. And things have already started getting creepy. Some dead people might still be walking around. Yeah, or they're not dead and they saw something else. Who knows? Also, maybe a possessed mechanical bull. Then on Saturday at 1 p.m., we are back for Scion. We jumped this week because we had the charity stream with the MS Society, which if you've donated, if you've watched, thank you so much for all of your love and all of your donations. So Saturday 1 p.m. for Scion, and then on Wednesday you can find me over on Laugh Love Lindy's channel playing in Upon the Exhamshire Moors, which is a Good Society the stream, and I might die at any point in time. I survived jail, and now I might be drafted, which I don't like. So thank you so much for coming. And we'll see you next Monday night. Bye-bye.